Hey, yo, what's up everybody? My name is Jeffrey and today we're gonna talk about Godot. No, I'm not talking about that Godot. I'm talking about the game engine Godot. We can talk about that Godot as well because she's kind of hot, but no, not anymore. That's like a 10 years ago stuff. Well, anyway, I want to tell you guys the reason why I choose Godot out of these three. Because don't know that it's three software: Unity, Unreal, and Godot. Well, the reason why I choose Godot is because it's an open source software that you can just use it, and then it's open source means you own it. I don't have to think about all this revenue stuff from Unity. I don't have to think about this revenue stuff from Unreal Engine. And reality, but to be real, we would never reach this, right? In our first game, second game, third game, or whatever that is. But I just want to make a game, and I don't want to think too much. And I will get to Unreal someday. Like, to be honest to you guys, I am interested in making 3D games. But here's the thing: I was doing research on Godot, and in Godot, I was like asking this question, which is the most future-proof. What do you mean by the most future-proof? Well, I was kind of wonder if I learned this because I do think about the time. I'm not young as in like 17 years old and can just do this and do this and do this or whatever that shit is. Even though I'm planning to learn, if I can, I want to learn all three and make games on all three. But I think for now my goal is just Godot and Unreal, and probably not Unity, because I kind of want to try and see what Godot can really do. And here it is, right? So I was like, okay, why is it future proof? Apparently in Godot 5 this is like the new thing that are gonna come out, because right now it's only Godot 4. Godot 5 native 3D upgrades with better rendering, physics, and performance have made it more viable for more projects. So they're upgrading the stuff, and they actually have a lot of people using them. Like the usage jumped from 13% to 39%. That's a lot. While Unity dropped from 61% to 41%. And I was like, when I was just looking at this and stuff like that, because there's a pricing thing that happens, because I think Unity raised up the price in 2023, and it actually did affect a lot of dev that actually trying to make games, especially indie dev, to be honest, that they're trying to make games and stuff. And they were like, what is happening? Shit. And that kind of like uncertainty is pretty scary. So I was like, I don't want to think too much. Again, going back to I just want to try to learn how to make a video game. And so I feel like Godot is the best way to really learn a proper. I want to learn the scripts. I want to learn coding. I want to learn how to make a game, how to really properly design a game from nothing to something. And that's what exactly I tried to learn. And so choosing Godot was the obvious reason, as you can see. Right, there is their own good part, their own bad part. Unity is it's kind of like, I feel like Unity is something like Godot, but it's just popular. That's just how I feel in my amateur eyes. Unreal is like this crazy, if I want to make a 3D game, I'm gonna use Unreal. That's just this, it's just fixed. That's just what that is. But Godot, it's like, I'm a solo. I want to try, just make a game and just try it some more and make some, Metroidvania games or something like that if I can. And I feel like that might be fun to make that with Godot. And so, we got that. And the open sources really helps a lot as well. That's just the reason why I'm using Godot. And if you really want to go more, like why Godot wins with future proving, no lock-in risk. Unity scandals show how corporate shift, fees, policy flips can waste your time investment. Godot open source nature dodged that entirely. You can fork, contribute, or run it offline forever. Unreal Epic backing is solid, but it's tied to their ecosystem, like Epic Store and stuff, I guess, like store and royalties. And momentum and growth. Its fastest rising engine. With Godot 5 making 3D production ready for non-AAA work, dev calling it a superior Unity for indies, lightweight, flexible, and scaling to multiplayer VR without bloat. Multiplayer with VR, making a VR game sounds fun as well, huh? Usage graph shows steeper adoption, slope post 4.0 than Unity or even Unreal in recent years. Ooh. Broad stability. If you research lean, indie, 2D, common starting point, it's unbeatable. But evolving for 3D mobile too, without forcing you into pro complexity. For jobs, Unity and Unreal edge out in studios, but Godot skill transfer easily from GD scripts to C sharps. And it rises means more opportunity. That's awesome. Edge over others. Unity versatile but feels dated admins migrations. Unreal beast for visual AI but exhausting for learners. And it's not ideal if you're not chasing photorealism. I don't know, man. I kind of want more like Stellar Blade kind of stuff, right? That's just what that is. If we can do something like that, or even like an anime like stuff, you know, like ZZZ. If we can do something like that, even in Godot, that's awesome. That's enough. That's more than enough. That's just what that is. So before I really go into explaining to you what is this, what did I do, and stuff like that, I would like to tell you guys that this is the channel which is called Bracky's awesome channel. This is the video that I used to actually learn how to make that game. If you look around inside, you will see a lot of like similar thing that happens in that game itself.
Godot.
For example, look at this, right? This is the game that it teach you what to make.
Play, as you can see, they appear
like this is the game that it teaches you how to make.
And just like with sprites,
and
because
in this one, they do have like all the assets and stuff so that you can learn it as simple as possible. Just follow through each one of this and just go back to each one if you guys want to learn more. And I just keep repeating and just keep trying. And yeah, and that's what I did. And this is that game that I used that tutorials and stuff. So the thing about this, the differences is that I uses this female character instead of that assets that they actually have in that you know, whatever he actually piled up with. I was like, if I ever gonna make a game, it will always be a girl with jiggles. And just look at that. There's a girl with jiggles. Even in default, there will always be girls in jiggles. Like, yeah, this is an asset that I found in itch.io, and it's a very cool asset. And I think if you this is a free one, and there is a paid one as well. If you paid that thing, you will, of course, get like much more hotter and sexier girl as well. And you can actually change this into like a different type of character, because they do have like different hair colors and stuff. And I was like, this is really good. So I just decided to make like a red, white, and then with a black hair, and that's just that characters and stuff. Like, so now that I have my character, I was like, okay, it's time to start and stuff. So the tutorial really teaches you a lot of great stuff, right? If you watch that video, you can probably just reach to whatever I did. So, but the differences that I wanted to share and the messed up that I did. Number one is the tile map. Like the tile map in that is that they actually have this new node, like this node called tile map, right? So it's supposed to look like this. This tile map thing is supposed to, at this tile map here, is supposed to look like this. But I messed that up somehow. I think I deleted it or something. I don't even know what I did. But yeah, so I messed that up, and I never really managed to do the layer thing that they want me to do. So I can't use this layer stuff. Like you can see, like this thing and that. So that's why I decided to use the pixels instead. These are the tile pixels. I use this and make it into my layer, and I put that, I make a tile map nodes, and I just put them inside of here, and somehow it works. And I was like, okay, this is totally different from whatever he's teaching inside of that. The way that he teach is more better, because underneath here that you can see around all these canvas and stuff, there is a like layers, and you can just set the layers from here, and it will be easier to handle. But just like, you don't have to like change the whole scene or anything like that. So I'm not even pretty sure what it called. It's like a notes. Like you don't have to change the whole thing. And that itself, it's like I messed up that bad that this layer around here, they should actually have another thing which is called I already got rid of it, never mind. There is a calculation stuff that I actually had there, and in that calculation stuff you gotta make it with the score label. as you can see here, there's a score label here, but you can't see it on that other side. And if I go to that side right there, right? Hold on. If I take like this coin and stuff, maybe take 2 coins, and I don't want to take any coins anymore, right? So if I go there and try to avoid all the coins. Okay, I try to avoid all the coins. Maybe I take 4 coins because this is pretty hard to avoid. and now I have 5 coins, right? 5 coins. If I go here, I'm just gonna go here, right? And let me just put this down instead of just get rid of it. And now this one, let me put it down below the game. Oh, sorry, not down below the game. I'm gonna put it at a label. So I put it at a label. You can see in here, I have collected 5 coins. I should actually have this on the surface, but I messed up and it doesn't show. And so I need to fix this up again. I try to fix, but I'm still very new, so I don't really know how to fix that. So I never really actually fixed that. So at the end of the day, yeah, that's just what happens there, I guess, you know. That's just turning to become just that in the tile manager and stuff like that, because in that thing itself, actually it has the collected score coins thing. So I'm pretty sure if I know how to show where to do this, and then it should show it should be able to be done if I know how to change like the, you know, the label or something like that, like, you know, but I don't really know how to do that, so I need to do that from scratch again and try to not mess up this time. And yeah, so that's like one of the bad thing, like one of the mistake that I did. So if you guys really interested and you guys want to learn, remember that that's that kind of mistake that I accidentally do at the tile thing. Okay, that's the tile thing, the tile mistake. I'm not sure what I did. Maybe I deleted the tile map, because when you put out the tile map, there is a tile map and the tile map pixels or something like that. It's like I think a tile map layer, right? And somehow I think I accidentally deleted the tile map layer, or I accidentally picked up the tile map layer to edit this. I don't know, maybe that's the mistake that I did. I'm not pretty sure which one, but yeah, so we got that. And the second thing that I actually changed was, oh yeah, there's a few things and 2 more things actually. And another one that I actually did is the jump. Like you can see, like I have jump sound, right? The jump sound is one of the things, and the second one is the jump animation. In that tutorial itself, we just teach you one animation jump, because like it just teach you like maybe if I jump and I fall, I will still look like this, like one of the animation. Which animation I would like to do, that's just the only animation if you do. So I wanted to, like, when I jump, I have a jump, and I fall, I have a fall animation. And that's what I did. That's one of the different things that I did not really follow that and try to figure out that myself. And I try to figure it out. Of course, I use like AI and try to figure out the codes and stuff from that. And they just actually just gave it to me. And I just try to see if that really gonna works and how that's gonna works. And I just type everything by myself, right? And that's just like this one right here. So if I have a jump, play jump animations, right? Play animation sprite animations, and then jump. Animation sprite, play jump when the velocity is hitting y by 0, and then or else it will say 4. So you know, when the velocity is 0, it's going up, and then when it fall, you know, I think the velocity changes. So that's why it becomes 4 animation. And I think that's my understanding on this thing itself. So I was like, it actually makes a lot of sense. It's like math, right? It's like nothing. That's not like stuff that doesn't make sense. Everything makes sense. The velocity is x, velocity y, you know, stuff like that. Like velocity x is the x, right? So it's like the direction and the speed, and what you would do, and then you will move and slide. So the animations that we have a move and slide, you know, make it much more smoother and stuff like that, if I'm not wrong. And for this one is the jump sound. So this is the jump sound that I try to do. So for the jump, I try to go for the player, and after I went to the player, I try to put in because in the player node, in this player node, there is a animation sprite. In the animation sprite, I try to put in the jump sound, and now so my player will when I jump, my player will jump. So I was like, this, they did not teach this in that tutorial just now that I show you. In this one, they did say sound, but the sound that they teach you is just the sound of the coin, and that's it. Like, you just get the coins and bloom, 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 and the music at the back. And that's why when you see when I play the game, right, I have that very cool game at the back. I feel like this is awesome. Like, if I can make songs like this is actually from Stellar Blade, by the way. But if I can make songs like this, and I can make the aesthetic more, I would say like more like a Castlevania or Silk Song like type of, like, you know, aesthetic. Then it could actually build up a very good vibe. And I was like, oh man, the potential is there. I can see what I can do. And so yeah, so there's basically just what I did with the game. It's really cool. So I did the jump differently. I did the coin, not the coin, the sound differently, the jump sound. But overall I did messed up some, but it's still cool, right? Like, I learned how to animate this from left to right and stuff like that, so that the thing will work as it should, right? Like this thing, it will work as it should. It's all cool. It's very good. It's very fun. And yeah, and at the end of the day, after I spend a bit of hours and just follow everything that I can see in that tutorial, I have made myself a game. I put characters and stuff like that, and I think the next thing I want to learn is how to attack. So I want to like put in attack animations, and after I put attack animations, I think I have to put health for every of the enemy. Like all this enemy, they probably have health and stuff. So I think in order to do that, I probably have to go to the slime. I have to put in some sort of function, or like some sort of like code, right? Some sort of I don't know what you would call it, some sort of script, right? That is going to show that they have this much health, that is going to show like that they have this like they're going to decrease health if you get attacked by something. I think that's probably what it is, and probably in the player, that this is where I do the attack, or maybe I should make a new node. It's called attack node. I don't know. I don't really know how it's gonna work, but I feel like, you know, the next thing, that's what I want to do. I want to put in like an attack elements, so that I can try to make a game. So the goal right now that I have is to see that after the end of this month, what kind of game can I actually make. I actually got myself a few nice assets, like this one right here, right? It's a diamond thing that you can see, and I think maybe because, you know, like a diamond thing, the fire thing, and I can make this into a very very nice, probably fantasy stuff. So I got some fantasy stuff. We got a bat, right? We got a bat animation stuff around here. This is a bat thing that I try to get, and we can use that. And I try to find some nice fantasy tile. Like you can see, this is the background, by the way. They got the background like this. These are just the background. This is the tile that I can use. And just look at it. It's awesome. It's really cool. They got the wood version outside, and then we got the one like you can climb and stuff, and then you got the one that you can use for like cave or something. This one could be used as a cave like just now. This one can be used as a cave as well, like you know, it's very nice looking assets. I just happy about all these assets. Not only that, right, we have something like this is like a building pillar thing, and then we got like a nice stone and rocks and stuff like that, and we probably can stand up on this, and then we got like mines room and stuff that you can probably interact or even go into, but I'm not pretty sure how to go into a door yet. I gotta figure that out how to do. And they have like rocks like this. Maybe this could be like a background or something. Maybe I can use it as a background or a different kind of thing. Not pretty sure. There is trees, and this is like the shadow, I guess, right? If you want to put like water down underneath, you can use this and that. That's actually pretty cool. So I feel like there's a lot of stuff that I probably can make, and I'm just super hyped. and try to see what I can make at the end of this month and see. And yeah, they got like a bunch of enemies, right? Some weird kind of mushrooms, and the mushroom dies just now. This is when the mushroom dies when you hit it. And I feel like it's super exciting to learn and to try to make. Yeah, this is that that hardcore. They got an elven year. Like I can make my character into an elf just now, like that character. This is from that character there, like the female clothing. Like this is the clothing thing that you can see just now. It's really cool. It's really cool. The queen dress. That's why I made that into the red color thing, right? And then we got the character effects here, which is blood or something. You can have it, and yeah, it's really awesome. I just love it. They got the effects. They got the platformer assets that you can use as well. It's just really good. It's a really good. They got a lot of trees and stuff I can learn. I can use, and they got the hostage, tied up female. And yeah, I'm not pretty sure. Maybe you have to go to character, male clothing, female clothing, character skin colors, female skin color, skin 4, skin. You can make like a lot of type of characters and stuff. That's just awesome, right? And so yeah, I just try to get as much assets as possible so that I can make that game. And I want to see, I want to make a proper game. What I want is a good features, like just in one stage, a stage that you can go and a stage that you can beat, and after the stage you can actually fight a boss. I want to try and see if I can make a boss out. So we have to fight one boss, and we'll see how that goes, right? That's just the first tries that I'm gonna try. And after we get that done, then maybe I will try to develop one game that is like that first. And then, lastly, the dream that I have is like, my real dream, like the real dream. Like that is like that is the first step. The second step is a 3D game. And in the 3D game, I want to make a Megabong-like game. In these 2D games, I want to make like a Castlevania type game where you have this nice Castlevania, gameplay that you can go all around the places. You have to pick up items from point A to point B. So that's the first game I'm gonna try to make, and that could be the first game that I'm gonna try to make and sell as well. And it's gonna be as simple as possible, and it's like gonna be like a very old school Castlevania style, but but it's more like a Metroidvania way of like in one of a castle that you can just move around in that. There's like cave underneath that is like water. There's like there's like sky stage, and yeah, like a proper like a small proper Metroidvania game, and see whether I can make that out. And after that I want to learn 3D, and I want to make a Megabong game. And after Megabong game, if I really comfortable in making a game and I decided I can make money, now I can make my own game. The last goal that I have is make my own action RPG, which is a game where they have action elements, but when you fight one of the boss, it's okay. Let's just, if you think about it, it's like games like Stellar Blade. It's that 3D, action RPG. But the system is a more like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth or something. You have two party following you, and you can fight. Probably I'm gonna try to make like 6 characters out of that, and then you can just choose 2 characters to follow you and stuff. And then I want to make like a game where when you fight, right, that one of the boss is a guy who use time, and then when you hit the time, they will have a QTE that you gotta press, but it's like a spam QTE, so you just spam, and then when you spam, you break, and then when it breaks, you get into a turn-based game, and then you will play a turn-based game because you broke through, like when he casts a turn his time power, you will be inside the turn base, and then that's like the first trigger of that QTE, because you try to fight it but you still fail, but it's just to build up that like change but like pam, and then you're like cool, everything stop, and then you be in this turn-based game, so you still can move, but you're very slow. And the enemy will have like a sort of a haze effect, so the enemy move faster, but the enemy can still hit you, and that's the enemy skills, right? And then after that, when you hit like a certain a stagger. If you stagger that bar, after you stagger it, it will like hit into a cinematic, and then you can trigger back a QT. You just spam the QT, and then you break it again, and you break for real, and now you go back to your action base, and now you fight again with like, you know, like a normal fight and stuff like that. So in order to do that, I need to learn a lot of type of game. I want to make a lot of type of game, and I want to, like, when you trigger a certain boss, you have a different type of game to play, so that I always don't like a game that is monotonous, it's just one type. And that will be my dream game, right? It's like a game that is not monotonous, that's like, you know, like Neo Automata, where when you play, you have this like 9S following you around, and then, you know, when you fight, 9S doesn't really contribute that much, but it's really you, but you have a sense of like a friend or nakama or something like that, right? And you can play like shooting game, you can play like 2D game, you know, just changing the camera angle and stuff like that, that type, like, you know. But it's like, for me, it's like I want to make some time, one of them is gonna be like a crazy turn-based and stuff, but then at some way the story involved with war, and during the war thing, it's like one man fighting with 1,000 man, or 1,000 monster, or 2,000 or 10,000 monster. Maybe I'll make it into 10,000 monster. And in that game itself, you are playing a survival game. Like, you are playing like a Mega Bong survival game or something like that. You know, you just, people just keep coming in, and then you can get something, and then you have you know, a roguelike thing that you can choose to upgrade, which one to upgrade and stuff. And that's the dream game. That's a huge dream game, right? When I have a team, when I have, you know, the money and the time, it's gonna be a huge game that I would try to make, you know. And of course the battle system, you have parry and shit, because I love parry, and yeah, and that's just it, right? That's my dream game, by the way. Well, but nonetheless, guys, you know what, guys, that's it. That's the experience that I have. I feel happy that I managed to make the game. And the funny thing is, I did export the game, so hold on, let me just go here a bit, right? So here, the first game, right? Look at that. I can turn this off. This is you know, this is the game that I made. My very first game. I can't believe you can actually zoom in, and then it will become so big, and you can see the whole camera. What the hell? And this is really good, right? So I made the game, and now they got a game, and that's it. The only thing I want is to attack, so I can attack this, and then, like, you know, that's really good. And yeah, and I try to even, oh yeah, one more thing, I try to even, like, in that game it doesn't really teach you much, but in this one I try to change, like, there is a huge bigger size and there's a smaller size enemy, and I was like, that is so cool, I can do that, you know. But yeah, so nonetheless, that's it, guys. That is the game. I did it, and you guys did it. If you guys enjoyed this, give a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again on the next one. That is Godot. Okay, if you guys, I'm not a Godot pro or something like that. I would never make a tutorial video, but I will probably put in my experience on what I feel about Godot, and, you know, new type of content probably coming into this channel with game development and stuff like that. But most of the time, don't worry, I will still play a lot of games and stream a lot of games, and just, you know, have fun with games as well, and also some other stuff. Okay, well, other than that, guys, I will see you guys again on the next video, and until then, drop a like, subscribe. I will see you guys. Bam. Drop that beats.